Spurs versus Arsenal, and it's a massive game. However, Enzo Maresca comes out with the honest truth. He talks about his relationship with former players at Leicester. He talks about his relationship with Noni Madueke. He explains how he got at Reece James in the same manner and there was no panic. He gives us an update on Wesley Fofana, Reece James, Misha, the position that Moises Caicedo could be playing for the foreseeable future, and more importantly, what he's learned from Enzo Fernandez and how he's developed. We have got a jam-packed show. We're going to talk about everything that was mentioned in the press conference. We're going to preview the Spurs versus Chelsea game, and I've got a big message for Spurs fans because I think they are absolutely deluded. So for those of you that don't like the rivals, prepare yourselves, grab your popcorn, but before we get started, hit that like button because it goes a massive way, 1,000 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and in the comments below, give me your score prediction. I'm going with 4-1 Chelsea. Yeah, I'm that confident. Let's get into it. Before I talk about this press conference, I want to give a message to the Spurs fans. You know, a lot of Spurs fans is Ange out. Let me ask you a question. How many players do you have in your first team that could actually realistically get into Chelsea's lineup, Arsenal's lineup, Liverpool's lineup, or Manchester City's lineup? Let alone or even Manchester United's lineup. Because the reality is they are absolutely where they belong. They are a top 4 challenging side at best. And then you give a few injuries to Romero, to Van de Ven, and a goalkeeper. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to deteriorate into a team that is going to be battling for top 10. And sadly, I think they have absolutely blown their mind with what's been happening, because they believe the first 10 games that Ange had is a realistic representation of what they are. But it's not. You've had Conte, you've had Jose, you said it was boring football. Okay, you've got some champagne football, as the expression says, some entertaining football. All of a sudden, it's not good enough. The results aren't there. Make your mind up. You're not good enough to be competing for titles. You're not good enough to be competing for cups on a regular basis. You might win the occasional one every 20 years, but you're just not that guy. You're not that team. I'm sorry to blow your bubble. Now that I've got my rant out of the way, let's get into the preview. So, first of all, there's team news. We've got both sides of team news. Number 1, Wesley Fofana and Reece James will be out for a few more weeks, according to Enzo Maresca. He said they're recovering, but slowly but surely. Furthermore, Misha is still ill. Now we understand why Mudryk was not in the squad. He has been suffering with some sort of illness. Hopefully he recovers and he's back for midweek next week. Then we've got an update regarding their position. What do they have? They've got Davis at centre-back hurt, which adds to the fact that they've got Christian Romero out, as well as Van de Ven. Meaning they might have a big problem at centre-half. However, Enzo Maresca has really said, look, there's a good chance that Romero will be back. He'll improve them. Let's not get those excuses out the way early. And for me, this is the right thing. We can't expect them, just because they've got a bit of injuries now, not to take them seriously. We need to respect who Spurs are, because on their day, they can absolutely beat anyone. And we've seen their day, right? On their day, they slapped up Manchester City twice this year. They beat them in the cup, and then they absolutely humiliated them at their place. So for me, we need to respect how unpredictable Spurs can be, but at the same time, we need to respect that if we're a serious organization, if we're a serious institution, and if we're in a title race, as everyone says, we go to White Hart Lane and we go absolutely pummel them. This week has sparked a lot of controversy. I put into my title, Enzo Maresca slams Noni Madueke, right? Because of what he says. People's like, he didn't slam him, he was just giving constructive criticism. He did slam him. When a manager comes out publicly and has to talk about something publicly to everyone else, it means it's been said behind closed doors. But once again, he does what he does best, and he talks to us like we're normal human beings. He doesn't talk to us in code, and he talks to us like we're just his equals, and I love it. I absolutely adore it. He said, I want the best for Noni. I want the best for all my players. I believe if Noni wants to push on and be better, Noni needs to do this. It can't just be 1 or 2 more goals. He needs to be pushing on better. Then there was a follow-up question saying, Noni said he really likes the way you communicate. You're a good manager, but you're not his friend. And he said, look, I want to be friends. I want to be close with all my players, the way I was close with my players at Leicester. However, sometimes your friend, the people that are close to you, have to tell you a few things that you need to take into account. You need to take on your chest. You need to understand, and that is a positive in life. You don't want people that sit around you that don't call you out when you're not doing something that is bettering you. And he also went on to say, sometimes when your friend tells you something and it's hard to take, and it's the honest truth, you see what I did there, thumbnail, honest truth, the reality is you're not going to want to listen to it. And he said, it's not a bad thing. This is a way of improving Noni. He has faith in Noni, and I think that's what we need to get into our heads. This man believes Noni's going to be great. And as I told you guys, if you haven't seen it, at the end of the video, I'll leave a link. Noni needs to take this by the scruff of the neck and make himself a guaranteed starter in this team. However, he also added that, look, I did this with Reece James. Everyone made a big deal about it because I said about the leadership comment. I expect more from my captain. I want more leadership capabilities. And for me, this is beautiful from Enzo Maresca because he's highlighting. This isn't personal. I just want my players to be better. Do you think that's unreasonable? I think that's perfectly fair and perfectly objective from my gaffer. When it comes to our midfield, I think in our midfield, we have got a lot of options. We've got Romeo Lavia, we've got Moise Caicedo, and we've got Enzo Fernandez. And for me, this is where it gets interesting because he was asked, I think Soraya asked the question, obviously, she asked the good questions 9 out of 10 times out of all of the journalists. She's consistently the one that asked the good questions. And she asked, with Caicedo now in his new position, are we going to expect to see him at right back? And he said, look, this is something that we've already thought about in the past. We thought that this could happen. We thought that this could work. And the beauty of this is he's good enough to do that, but we see him as a midfielder. We see him as a holding midfielder. However, this was in our mind, but because of the injuries with Lavia and because of Enzo, it didn't work out. So we had to revert away from it, but we're going to use him there in the future shortly. However, he also went on to say Enzo is developing really well. He said Enzo Fernandez is now starting to learn the whole art of the position that he's playing in. And I'm not going to lie to you, he really has. I think both Enzo and Caicedo have really kicked on this year in terms of their development. You can really see the coaching of their position coming out. Because Caicedo is all of a sudden very good in that DM role. He's good on the ball, he's displaying everything, showing the intelligence of being an inverted fullback, utilized in multiple areas. Enzo, on the other hand, he's playing the centre mid role in a very good, calm way. He's arriving into the box on time, he's offering support on time, he's expressing himself on time, and he's utilising his assets on time with his passing range. So for me, this is all down to Enzo Maresca. They're good players, but you saw good players under Maurizio Pochettino being left to their own accord, did not develop the way Enzo Maresca has developed them. So, he's giving them praise, I'm going to give him praise. The next thing we need to talk about is about the Club World Cup. Look, the Club World Cup is going to be a prestigious honour for years to come. It's going to be something that we are going to look at equivalently to like a Champions League one day. I genuinely believe that, purely based on the fact the money that is around it. I think clubs are going to want to get into that tournament and they're going to want to get the money. I think there was £1 billion from TV revenue raised because the Zone purchased it. Meaning that gets split whatever way, and then there's some left over for FIFA. Clubs are going to adore this. I think they're going to make in 2 weeks around about 80 or 90 million pounds, I read somewhere. So they're going to want to be a part of this. But our manager says all he knows is the group. He doesn't know when we play, where we play, who we play. He just knows the group. And for me, that's funny because he said, I'll prepare for it when we get there. However, this is going to impact our preseason. And I actually heard something that made me realize that this might be a blessing in disguise. If we get deep into the group, right, we're playing in America. The players could go away for 4 weeks and then come back, and all of a sudden, we ain't going to go on another America trip, right? We're not. We're not going to go to Asia. It's too far away. We're not going to go to Africa. Like, it's too far away. So what's going to happen is, they might just stay at home. They might stay at Cobham. They genuinely might just play Grimsby, play Luton, play Charlton. You know what I mean? Like, play local friendlies, stay, train, and develop. Because I think once you've been to America, right, for the Club World Cup, you've done your exposure. You've done your additional preseason stuff. You've done your stretch out the market, go take the brand public. Then you get back from your holidays. There's like 4 weeks before the season starts. This is when they usually return and stay at home. This is where it would be a good opportunity for the players to stay and do some tactics and some drills with Enzo Maresca. I hope this is the way it goes. However, Maresca did also say, look, they're not thinking about this. It's not his job at this moment in time. He wants to focus on the season. But the way football's going, it's a bit mad still. The final thing we need to talk about is Enzo Maresca said, look, people are going to keep asking him about the title race. And 100%, they are ahead of schedule where he thought we would be. But 100% he believed we could get to this level. And for me, I don't like this comment purely based on we haven't achieved nothing yet. And I think he knows that. We know that. He's just saying it to appease people. But we haven't achieved anything. We're Chelsea Football Club. We achieve by winning cups. We achieve by winning league titles. We achieve by winning individual awards. We are a serious institution. He also said, look, we score a lot of goals, but we also don't concede that many. So we're improving on both ends of the spectrum. We're scoring a lot more, conceding less. We're doing well. He said to be great and to be competing, we need to do better. And he gave a great example. He said the first 15 to 20 minutes against Southampton, we weren't on point, man. We genuinely were not on point. We were not good. We were meant to go man to man. We didn't go man to man. It caused us problems. You let Southampton play, Southampton will punish you. And they're a good team. They will do it. And for me, this is very self-observant. It's something that we need to do more as a club. Look at what we've achieved, analyze it, and then we'll keep moving forward. And for me, beautiful work so far. Bravo. However, the Spurs game, right? This is a must win. However, we must respect them. I think we will win 4-1. And the reason I think we'll win 4-1 is because I think Enzo Maresca will do what I would do if I was in his position. Personally, I would start in goal with Jurgensen. He's going to go with Sanchez. I would personally go with 4 at the back. I'd go Gusto at right back. I'd go with Badiashile, Colwell, Cucurella. I'm sorry. Disasi looked better than Toussaint the other day, but neither one of them convinced me enough where I don't give Badiashile a chance. Midfield 2, I personally would go with Enzo and Caicedo. I believe we need to make sure that we are spraying the ball quickly forward. We sit back a little bit, let them have the ball. Enzo's passing is going to be amazing in this game. It needs to happen. If you want to play Lavia, Gusto has to see out, you move Caicedo. I think Enzo's on too good a form to leave him out, my personal opinion. Then, this is where it gets interesting. I don't know if people agree. On the right, I'm going with Noni Madueke. I think Noni's pace is going to be imperative. We're going to need it with his ability to be strong, carry the ball in open play, phenomenal. On the left, I'm going with Neto. Neto, the way he played against Brighton, I need it. Palmer in the 10, Jackson in the 9. You lot know I love Joao Felix. You lot know I like Jadon Sancho as well. However, neither one of them has earned the position at this moment in time. And I also think that direct pace with the high line that Spurs play, we need to be on it all over it like a rash. We can absolutely humiliate them, but we have to respect them. And I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. They've embarrassed Manchester City twice. They are absolutely capable of doing it to us. We need to go into this game fully focused, fully ready to go make a statement. We win that game and then we've got 4 games on the bounce that we should go on and win. And then we can absolutely start talking about title races. But until then, we're in the top 4 battle. And like I said, I've got a great video here for you guys where Enzo Maresca explains what he wants from Noni Madueke, how to develop him further. And people took it as he slams it. I'm the people that put it in the title. Go check it out. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.